find the cord. Let's move that out of the way. So that's your knot cord, and we'll pull. Whether you get an inch or two doesn't really matter, but we're just tightening. The tightening process has started. Whether you do the whole process 3 or 4 times, it depends on nature, it depends on the skin, it depends on your cord. You know, we're pulling. Now, the more drums you make, the more you get used to how much stretch you can do at a time. So the ones that I've done already will be stretching and release some more cord. So we're just going to work all the way around again, and you can see I'm not getting nowhere near as much cord as I was, but all that is being taken up by the skin of the drum. So we're gradually tightening the drum so we get that lovely resonance. So we're just going to go all the way. You know, I normally count how many I've done, and then I know exactly how close to the end we're getting. So, and there we go, that's the end. So we've got, what, a foot, I suppose. Now that is a lot tighter, and that is a lot tighter as well. But 5 minutes time, it will loosen off. So we're going to give it another 5 minutes to stretch, and more than likely I would say we're going to do the last of the cord stretching, and then it's binding up. So with the binding, there's so many different ways of doing it. We've got all this cord, so we can be as creative as we like. We've got 16 cords, so I really like a 5 and a 5 and 2 3s. You can do 4 4s, but we're always going to get that cross in the middle, so your hand sits nicely when you're playing your drum. You can do 2s, or you can do 4s to produce the cross and then go into 2s. As I say, I really like 5 5 3 3. I just think it looks amazing. So there's so many different ways. So being as this is a bit corded, I'm just gonna, now we don't want to pull this through like this all the time, so I wrap round my fingers one way, and then I pull it off, and then we'll go round the other way. So that gives you a nice neat ball to pull through and use it for cording. So we're just going to give that another 2 or 3 minutes to stretch. We'll stretch it again, and then we'll start doing the I'm going to do a 5 3 3 on this because I just think it'll look so nice. Colour wise, I don't know whether you can see it, but it is very blue, but that blue is going to disappear, unfortunately, and it's going to turn more black and grey. So more than likely 50 shades of grey, but that's a different story. So we'll give it another 2 minutes, and then we'll be back. Right, so I think you can see how much we've got there, it's stretched and everything. So we're going to find the knot again, and you can see just by pulling it, you know, we get 1/2 inch. And then we're just pulling and we're just following it around. You know, we've done quite a bit of editing for this, obviously, so the time that it takes to make a drum is, see, I'm getting quite a bit of slack, and you wouldn't believe the strength that's going on with this cording. So we're just pulling it through. And you can see by the width of your cord that the cords are getting very similar size. So, but you will know that, or you will feel there's thin bits. So with the thinner bits, you might not have to give it so much to stop you breaking the cord. Okay, so that's gone all the way round. I've got another 10 inches there, and that's going to be quite tight. So I'm just going to turn it over and see how much give I've got here. So we're getting there. I think I can do another one. So I'm going to leave it another 5 minutes and then just take a little just to tighten that bit off. Obviously the skin is tighter, the skin is drying, so, but I just feel that needs fractionally tightening up, because I'm after a certain sound. You can never tell making a drum like this how it's going to sound, whether it's going to be high pitch or low pitch, but everybody likes the drum to sound differently. Some people like higher pitches, some people like the bass, but the resonance of the drum is so important to me. So when you hit it, it keeps on vibrating and the resonance keeps going, so you can go dong and then it will carry on instead of being dead. Like, it will keep going. So that's important to me. So let's give it another couple of minutes and we'll take it from there. Okay, I've just done the last tightening. I took about 5 inches off it. It is tight. Now when we do the binding, it's going to get even tighter. So what we need to do is to set the tension. So what we're going to do is pull this last one. I'm just going to turn it round and we're going to pull. That will do. Now I'm aiming for there or there, it doesn't really matter too much. So I'm going to roll that under there and I'm going to pull that, and then we're going to bring the cross into the middle of the drum. So now I'm going to keep the tension on that. And you've got to trust nature that everything's going to be strong enough. So that has locked the cross into the middle. So what I'm going to do is count 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to bring it up to there, and then we're just going to bring everything together nice and tight. So, you know, that's the beauty of having this ball. That you...
I thought you were doing a 5 and 3.
I am.
Sorry.
But we're just setting the middle of the drum. Now, at this stage, I normally turn the drum over and think, what do I want the top of the drum and what do I want the bottom of the drum? So, I think this is going to be the top of the drum and that's going to be the bottom. So, we're going to turn it over and we're saying that is going to be the top. So we're there. So I'm going to do 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we are going to go under and up and bring that tight. So this is tightening your chords even more than they were. So we're giving it quite a bit of strength. And you can see the water now coming out of your chords. So we're pulling it tight. So now what we're doing, we're pulling these tight. And it is up to you how big you want to make your cross. So the more you go round and round, the more your chord gets twisted. So every so often, which is another way of, you know, we can just untangle manually because we want there we go. So I think we'll do a couple more and that should be wide enough for your cross in the middle. Now what we're going to do is just untangle again. So we've gone 5 and now we're going 3. So we're going over, miss 1, miss 1, and we're going to pull the 3 together. So obviously with the 3, it's going to make this a bit thinner. And it gives you a nice spacing. So, and it is always, you can see that's getting so much tighter. You know, and if you use your fingers to flatten the chord, Right, I think we're going to do a couple more, unravel this. So we've got it as long as we wanted. Now what I'm going to do is work back on myself. So we've gone over 2 and then I'm going to work back. All the way to the centre. So we're still pulling and this is tightening. Alright, and then when we're in the centre, we're going to unravel again or untwist. This is why you always need more cord than you get, because it gives you more options. You can do this as many times as you like, do more complicated patterns, but the more complicated patterns, the more cord you need. So, right, we are almost back into the centre. So we're still pulling as hard as we can, and that water keeps oozing from your cord, so you know you're doing quite well. Okay, so that has got to be replicated on this 5. So if you count 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, you know you've got your 5 opposite. So we're going to go under and then we're going to bring those 5 together as tight as possible. Now, when I first started doing this, I used to get a tape measure out and get it exactly right. So that width to there. And I used to count how many turns we went up and down, up and down. But now I just, you know, I do it by eye because I think that's the best way of doing it. You know, we're keeping the tension on all the time. And if you concentrate on this one, you know, when I pull it, you can see that is getting tighter. So, and in my opinion, that gap has got to be the same as that gap. So you can see they are odd at the minute. So we're going to keep going round until I think the angles are roughly the same. So still not there yet. Two more. There's one. Two. No, I think we need a third. Yep. So then we're going to isolate the 3 again. 3 more. 1, 2. Oh, maybe only 2. No. See, the difference is, this is thinner than that because that's got 2 wraps and that's got 1 wrap. So we're just gauging the difference between there and there. I am going to do 1 more. Okay, and then we're going to work back on ourselves. Now we've just got to isolate the 3s. So as you can see, the cord, what I'm going to do, we have that much cord left, which should be ample. So I'm just going to do the same trick as normal, roll it around my fingers, roll it round there, untwist, and then we're going to pull under and up. So, yep, just keep it tight and it will slip down. So we are getting towards the end stage now, and this is when the nervous time starts, because it is all about the look of the drum is fantastic.
It's not the look of the draw, it's the look of the drum.
Yep. And we are right, so I think that is a big enough cross, so I'm going to go under, lock that off, and then I'm going to work backwards. So we've only got those 3 to tighten up, so keep pulling. Now, as I say, the more you make, the more confident you are that you've got it right. But I still make mistakes. I'm only human at the end of the day. So, you know, I can misread nature, I can misread the drum. So, I'm happy with that. So now we're just going to replicate that. We're going to pull it tight. You can see everything tightening up, and if you get a little cross there, just use your fingers to get the look that you want. Right, I'm just going to untangle, and then we're going to go over. I know this is going to be hidden, but it's just, I don't know whether you call it professional pride or you know, OCD. You know, you're not going to see this, but that looks great. So I'm happy with that. Okay, so I think we're not too far off. So I'm going to do 1 more, and then I'm going to lock it in by going under and up, and then we're going to work back to the middle. You know, there's absolutely centuries and millennia of people making drums. So I'm just putting my bit forward on how I make mine. Respect has got to go to the ancients, our ancestors, for the joy and the community aspect of drums. You know, in my opinion, these days, community is fast disappearing, where we can all learn from each other. And I want to learn. I'm 61, but I still want to learn off the elders. And I don't mean elders as in older than me. There is so many younger people with more knowledge than me. So now we've got to keep the tension. So what I'm going to do is, this looks a bit thinner than that, so I'm just going to bring that over and do this bit, because we don't want any tags interfering with your hand and making it uncomfortable to play the drum. So we're just going to move it out. So I will put lots more videos up on how to finish the drum off in different ways. To use less cord, to use more cord, to do different ways. So now what I'm going to do is finish this off. Now, what I normally do is do 2 of those, bring it round the back so it's not seen, and then I'm just going to do 2 overhand knots and then bring it right up as close and as tight as I can. The first one will do fine, but the second one is just... So we're going to bring that round there. I never cut the tag off until the end, especially when it's that length. But in a drum berthing, we will cut the cord. So we'll just snip it off somewhere, and then when everything's dry, we'll just, the people can snip it off again. So that is going to be the finished drum. Now you can see everything's not neat and tidy round the sides. So what I normally do is pull everything in get some brown tape, and then I'm going to pull this brown tape first bit's always the most difficult. Sometimes it slips because of the moisture and everything. We've got there. you know, we are pulling it as tight as we can, because it is just going to flatten everything off. The battery's gone on there. Right, so now we've got to do the edges. So obviously if something's loose and the looser it is, the more prone it is to vibration. So we're just trying to anchor everything down, and then when you've gone all the way round, you can hear everything. We're just going to go round once more time. So, right, I'm going to leave that for 24 hours. I'll put it on the wall to dry out, and tomorrow sometime I will do a video on actually what it sounds like. So we've got the cross, which is amply big enough, and obviously it's going to change colour. We don't know exactly how it's going to look, but you know, the experience of cutting drums out of the rawhide, we try and make every drum as a piece of art, as well as a spiritual tool, and which hopefully makes it easier for people to connect to the drums, because that connection between you and the drum is so important. You know, I have selling drums, I have people come up to me and say, I want that drum, because they love the look of it. But I say, no, you can't have that drum until you've tested other drums, because the drum will find you, not you find the drum. And 90% of the time, people will choose a different drum because the drum picks you, not the other way round. So listen, look and feel when you're picking a drum, any drum, doesn't have to be mine, any drum, and make that connection with the drum, which is so important. So I've shown you how I make my drums. This bit's a bit of an advert, but I do sell drum kits with a drum bag that you can do exactly what I've done. If you want, you can do it yourself and make that ultimate connection with your drum. If not, we've got loads and loads that I've birthed already, but it is a personal thing, and we leave it up to you. Whether you buy it from me or whether you buy it from anybody else, the drum is special to you. So thanks for that. I've done as much as I can for now, and I'll be in touch tomorrow when the drum is hopefully dry. It might not be dry tomorrow. It might take 48 hours, but we'll see. But I am quite interested in this one because it's tightening up already, so I don't think it's going to take too long to dry. So thank you very much. Cheers. Bye. Bye. Blessed be.